guys, just a reminder that the show starts in just about 2.5 minutes, even though it's not really a show. The race, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Championship Cup 2022, starts in 2.5 minutes. So for part 1, we're just reacting to the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Championship Cup. Part 2, we'll be reacting to Splatoon 3 entering the Splatlands. This music is pretty sick, guys. So please subscribe to the channel. And we got about 2 minutes left until this thing starts. Now, I did see a little bit of it off camera. Not the whole thing, but just a little bit. Like the first, I think it was the first 3 races I saw off camera. So you guys will be surprised at the end. You guys will also be surprised at the beginning, but I will be surprised at the end. See who will take home the championship cup, guys. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of the countdown. Five seconds left. I'm so excited for this. 30 seconds. Countdown to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to PAX West. We are starting right this minute. So I'm just gonna. So this is the actual video. I had it hiding under the countdown. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna add that in the middle here. Right there. Just so you could get a good view of what we're seeing. And delete the arrows. I'll set it back up for when we hit Splatoon 3. Right now we're just reacting to the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And now, let's hit it. Let's start. Right there.
Well, good afternoon from PAX West. We are back here in person, trackside, getting set for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Championship Cup 2022. That's right. This is not your Grandpappy Special Cup here. We are getting set to bring you 12 of the top racers, 8 courses, 1 champion. Welcome in. I'm Jordan Kent.
Right.
And joining me, we have one of the fastest men in the pit stops here, EE, and a man that is no stranger to the checkered flag fair. And EE, let's get started with you. What are you excited to see? We have so much talent on display here today.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, if you talk to a lot of the players, or just some
Maybe
of
I
the
should
fans,
turn
you know,
my
like
brightness
Strike is
up.
definitely one of the favorites coming into this to obviously take
Right
the whole
there.
thing, right? Just so much talent we've amassed at this competition. But for me, there's a wild card pick I would like to go with. My man Bowser, he qualified here by winning the PAX Arena. He's won on a stage like this before. He feels very comfortable playing in front of a live crowd in that kind of environment. I think just seeing how these players adapt you know, the differences from online to offline is really what's going to be telling about this whole event.
And Bear, we're looking at so much skill on display here.
Definitely.
Where do we find the separation between these 12? Because it's going to be chaotic.
So it really depends on every course, but in reality, you want to make sure that you have the perfect lines, go as fast as you can. But if you're not, you want to be really strategic with your items. So you're going to have a lot of good item play. People have to have like great course awareness of the mini map, and then that's going to make or break for a lot of these races.
Well, let's buckle our seatbelts and take a look at the rules
right.
here today. As we've mentioned, we've got 12 racers, 8 courses, 1 champion. Most points after 8 races wins. Seems pretty simple to me. 150cc. This is the way that we're doing it here. Normal items, all vehicles, smart steering off. Yes, you have to have your license ready to go here for this one. And let's go ahead and check out these courses. These were selected by the racers.
Whoa! These courses are sick!
You see 2 courses from each of these 4 following cups here. And starting with this year, Bear, obviously the courses will play a
Paris
huge
Promenade,
role in the
Coconut Mall,
strategy race
Shrimp
after
Ridge,
race.
Ninja Highway,
Yeah,
New York Minute, Mario
especially
Circuit
given
3,
that every single
Mushroom
one of
Gorge,
these courses
and
derived
Sydney
from,
Sprint.
You know, all the retro courses, but the tour
Which one are we going to
themselves,
start
I'm
off
very
with?
excited
I actually
because
forgot.
These all have different variations of their specific Mario Kart Tour courses all on one track. And given that a lot of these courses have great comeback factor, you're definitely going to see some chaotic racing going on.
Oh my God, I love that.
Racers as they get set to
I love that
EE
person with the
Office's
hat.
Mario Kart.
Yes.
Items play a tremendous role in your success. You can say it isn't 100% skill. You sometimes need a little bit of luck.
Yep.
And there will be some gamemanship going on as far as when these racers decide to get their items.
I mean, you know, honestly, obviously skill is a big factor to any, you know, game you play at a competitive level, right? Mario Kart being no exception. But the fact that items can, like, at any given point really kind of swing the game back into your favor, right? It can really determine, you know, you can be leading for 2 laps right there in that first place, and then somebody just out of nowhere, man, that shiny blue shell, spiky blue shell, came to really
Spiky blue
disrupt
shell
a lot that's
just
going
is
on. I was talking to my man Bear about that. He says he can't
actual
count the number of
bullcrap.
times he's been in first place. It's all looking good, and then just boom, in an instant, it's done.
Hey, you got to be in first place to get hit by the spiny shell.
Yeah,
That's what matters.
look,
here.
Yeah, if you're in
it's
first
the way,
place,
it's basically
literally
rewarding you for
probably
being
only
so good at the
reason
game.
why
It's a nice
we
little
need the
present,
spiny
nice
shell.
little spiny shell.
I tried
present
using
for you
this
there.
on CapCut,
So
by the
going
way,
along with that, we're going to be keeping our
film this
eye
video,
on
but
3 different
CapCut
levels
takes
of
up
this race.
so
Obviously,
much
you have
space.
your front runners, and there's a strategy that goes with racing in first place because you have to be very defensive.
Yeah, front runners really they're probably phenomenal at doing time trials. So they really know their lines, they really know their course. They're going to hold defensive items as much as possible, get that distance. And then you're going to have these mid-pack racers who like to play second, third, fourth, really play with second, third, fourth to hit out first, and then take it over in the final lap to make sure they get first place. It's a weird little kind of like honor code you have with second place as third, fourth place. You don't hit them. You don't, so that way you can hit first place. Then you have the chaotic people that are going to be in the back of the pack who may be just.
Is that chaotic neutral or chaotic good?
No, it's chaotic. It's chaotic good, but they'll probably pull really powerful items because the most powerful items in games do not spawn until 30 seconds into the game itself for every course. But also 9th and 12th, they're going to have the most powerful items, and the way that they use them will make or break them.
They're getting
So
set
this
for
is-
the
I
very
think this
first
is one
racer,
of the
as you mentioned, 8
competitors.
races. As far 8 races on these courses here, of course, you've got
G&B
12 racers. And how about
75?
G&B 75 from New York City? What do we know about him here, Bear? What has you excited about watching him race today?
He is one of the most chaotic players I've played with, but also he was letting me know that he could probably.
I love how
make
all
different
these guys have
characters, so I'm
glasses
curious
on.
to know what he decides to be on there, and solid racing overall for what we've seen from him.
As we said, we're getting set for this very
Yummy
first
bagel.
course here, this first race.
Yummy
Yummy
bagel.
bagel here, and we've talked about a lot of these different racers here. We have a Wario with
And
Mr.
Apex
Speedy, as we like to
New-
say at the joke. There's no
New-
holes in his
New
game
York
here.
City?
Yeah, I mean,
Apex NT. What is
I was
NT
thinking, I was
again?
wondering if you're going to bring that
Ah,
up.
no, I had to go early with
100%.
it.
I mean, you know, again, you know, you look at all the races that we have present. Yes,
And
they're from all walks of life,
who's
all
this?
over the planet. It's so good to see. But the one thing they all have in common, obviously, just solidified in their gameplay, how they play in front of this live crowd is definitely the thing that's going to be the most standout.
Adam
And then
Jet.
Bear, how about Adam, one of the heavy favorites potentially?
Adam's a phenomenal racer. Very, very.
Oh, this
fast,
is a
very
kart
low
lesson.
lines.
I didn't even
I've
notice
raced
that.
with Adam multiple different times, and every time I've raced
It's
with
a
him,
kart
it's a pure
license,
pleasure
Adam.
because it's a
I
fight.
didn't even notice that
And,
from the
we're
first
gonna
three
see a
races
wonderful race.
that I watched.
Obviously, lots of competition around Adam. Brings
And
us to our
who's
next
this?
racer,
Strike.
Strike from the Northwest, Boise, Idaho. And looking at Strike,
From Boise,
also
Idaho.
another favorite, and one of those Waluigi's with the bitty buggy here, EE.
Let me tell you something. I talked to Strike. I asked him, how are you feeling about this competition? What are you going to bring to the table? He says, I'm not leaving the stage without first place. That's all you need to know about him.
After Strike, yes, the horn does work on the hat, by the way. We tested it out earlier. We have Mankalore from Columbus,
Mankalore.
Ohio here, Bear.
Columbus,
Mangalore is
Ohio.
very well known for bringing very powerful items up front, so we're going to probably see a little bit of chaos from them. Great racing overall.
After Mankalore, we move on to our next racer, riding my Pidgey. Not quite yet a Pidgeotto. It's all right. From Las Vegas.
Riding my
Obviously, he's
Pidgey.
done very well. Very competitive scene. We continue to move down the line. And how about Bowser from Quincy, Massachusetts? A little bit of a
16.
holler here. You got a double point right there, EE.
I told you that is the wild
He's
card
got a
pick.
double
He's been on
point,
the
all
stage,
right.
He's on this stage, and he's
Who's
very
this?
confident in his Mario
LA
Kart abilities
Cruiser.
as well. I think that makes him an extremely dangerous pick.
Then the very experienced LA Cruiser from SoCal, top down from Compton, California. Bear, you have to love what he brings to the table.
LA Cruiser brings a wonderful energy, and he's going to be our token person using inside drifting bike, which is basically like
Who's
Mario
this
Kart.
guy? Looks like Cristiano
Moving along
Ronaldo.
here. It's Adrian,
Adrian.
from Tijuana, Mexico, crossing the border over here to get
Why does
ready
he
to
look like
race, and
Cristiano
obviously
Ronaldo,
another
though?
Very solid racer for Adrian. Looking forward to seeing what they can do. And then Cozy Fog right here. Home track advantage from Redmond, Washington.
Cozy Fog.
DK and the Bitty Buggy. Solid racer as well. Still rounding out our 12 racers here as we continue to make our way and get set for the very first course here in just a second. And really with all of these here,
And
Bear,
this,
they
who's
have so
this?
much experience racing against one another over the past couple of days here. They've had a chance to really build a really nice rapport.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
there are a lot
EN.
of the
Montreal,
racing together,
Quebec.
warming up, really getting to know each other. It's nice to see Anya as well, representing Montreal, Quebec. Very solid racer overall. We're going to see some really good driving from them. I've raced him before. Wonderful person.
As we mentioned, a lot of talent on display. It won't be the same build for everybody, and that'll be exciting. It won't just be Waluigi on the Wiggler for the most
G1989.
part. And then we have G1989 from Vancouver, BC. Our only Roy racer, but also very talented on the Mr. Scooty.
Oh, 100%. It's nice to see yet again, that representation from just all over. Got a couple members from Canada, obviously some representation.
So I think how
from
this
Mexico
championship
as well.
cup works.
NA all around, just an incredible
Like you
talent
just
pool.
said,
Got the little
most
introductions right
points,
there.
9
Little introductions, but big
Most
time
points
gameplay awaits.
wins.
Mankalore, I see you squeezing the hat. I see it.
Almost
couldn't
at
wear it
9
right now
cups.
because of
Most
how he
points out
obviously
of
has to wear
8
the headset.
cups
But yes, that
wins.
accompanies him every single place he goes.
Our 12 racers are getting set to start their engines. Our very
All right, we're getting
first course,
set.
though, will be Sydney Sprint.
Our first-
You love this one.
Oh,
man.
I
Sydney
absolutely love this
Sprint.
one. This is one of the most phenomenal
Sydney
best
Sprint's our
courses
first
added to
one.
the DLC. This is the rise. This debuted in 2021
Those
in
are
Mario
all
Kart
of
Tour.
the.
It's going to have
Those
two
are all the
variations of
cameras,
the
so
course
all the
combined.
people.
In the final lap, you're actually going to be going reverse of the Sydney Sprint.
Question,
And
these
one fun
people
fact
all
on this
get, like-
specific course itself is that
They all, like, sign up?
in the Mario Kart Tour version. The trains, the toads, they throw actually mushrooms, bananas, and bombs. But in here, they change it just to coins, so it's not as chaotic.
Okay.
It's nice they toss those coins. That inflation's real here, EE. And as they get set for Sydney Sprint, really, it's a mid-pack course here, EE, meaning you're not going to necessarily hang out and bag in the rear end and collect powerful items because
Yeah.
you've got to make sure you stay close to the leader.
Well, I mean, it's quick, it's fast, and it's right to the
It's
point.
literally-
This is
oh,
one of those
here we
reasons
go.
you like a course like this because you know
I
you're
was about
going
to
to
say
get
it's literally
a lot of
29
action
minutes in, we're
right
still
out of the gate.
started.
Obviously queuing up
But
right
now we're getting
We have
started,
we have our first
and
race.
the racers are off.
Here it is, the very
The
first
first
in our
course.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
And
Championship Cup
so far, Adam
2022
Jensen
G&D
first.
75, Bagel, Strike, and Jet, and already Strike falling to 12th here, Bear.
You know what? You
Already
gotta make a
Strike's
comeback.
falling
Okay, this is a great comeback
12.
course. You can't give up. It only really matters about the final lap.
Mankalore in third, a lot of traffic
Mankalore
in
in
this
third.
course right here. LA Cruiser, your bottom right, red shell
Bowser's
ready
in
to roll.
9.
But how about
LA
Bowser
Cruiser's in
bottom left?
4th.
Has that mushroom here, EE certainly
Oh.
can utilize that here soon.
Absolutely going to be looking
G19.
to strike. As Bear said, comebacks are absolutely very prevalent on a stage like this. No reason to get discouraged in those opening rounds for sure. You see just
Star.
right now. First place
Adam
is
Jets in
22.
first.
My man Adam just holding it down.
My man Adam in
At the
first.
current moment is able to avoid the red shell, and then here is Mangalore in second.
And
Mushroom
Mangalore's
with
in
the boomerang
second.
on deck, making their way through the park. Excellent lines here, Bear, because you have to be careful. It looks like we had a little bit of a collision against the wall.
Yeah, indeed. And also, Mangalore will likely, he has to use the mushroom, but most of the person in first place, this is actually critical. Having first
Oh,
place with
Strike's
mushroom
in
gives you the
first.
opportunity to dodge this.
He was in last, and now he's all the way in
Whoever's
first.
in first will likely hold on to that as long as they can.
And you look at how frequently they're checking their mirrors. Obviously, you love that.
Yeah.
Driver's license.
I'm gonna
test.
be
If
honest
you
with
do
you,
a lot of
just
that,
look at
think
this,
you'll be
look at
fine.
These guys is just another day after.
I don't really
office,
check
and
my
you have to do
mirrors,
that.
but,
Understanding everybody
oh,
on your
spiny
camera,
shell.
Could be a big turnaround to see and trying to make a play to kind of get a little bit
Fantastic.
out of there. Here comes
Oh,
Adrian.
it's Adrian in
dodged that lightning, was
first.
able to pull
On the
the
second
mushroom,
lap.
put the cut
Now
here,
on the
probably gonna put
last.
a double item box for protection.
Final lap. We see Riding My Pidgey in 8th, Mangalore in 3rd, LA Cruiser in 8th, trying to make their way 15
Yeah,
points
Mangalore's
to
in
first
second.
place. It will be chaotic down the stretch. here.
Adrian's
The
in
bomb
7th.
going off.
Cozy Fog
And still
11th.
hanging out in the back, but
Strike's
it is
in
Strike
first.
Red shell coming. Green shell defense.
Oh my
Almost there. Just
god.
has to make this
Oh,
turn.
this is tough.
GNB
This is tough.
second.
GNB
Strikes
behind.
first.
Is
GNB
it gonna be
second.
Strike or GNB. Quick
Ooh.
look at Yummy Bagel. Red shell ready to go. Strike.
Strike
Just a few
is in
more turns
first.
here, Bear.
This is a solid run.
He's
solid
good.
overall. Nice little finish there.
And
But
that's
really
finished.
lucky that G&B did not
Strike
throw the red
ends
shell
up
forward, given that he
in
was defensive.
first.
But overall, solid racing from Strike there. Nice
Congratulations,
finish.
Strike, for
G&B
winning
was
the
second.
first round.
Bowser with third place and in fourth. Again, if you didn't get top 4, it's not
Wow,
over. You have
that's
7 more
insane.
races. It's all about your point placement in the races itself.
Strike, an excellent job hanging out in first in EE, of course. When you look back, when you are that front runner, you have to make sure you have a defensive item to protect your rear
I
side.
mean, just the
Yeah.
fact that he put himself in such a sensational position. Just
If you
getting
don't
that
have a
first place,
defensive
able to hold it
item,
down.
then
You mentioned the item play, like
it's
item
basically
control, being able to hold on to those when you're most
game
going to
for
need them.
you.
Yes, being able to
Basically
deflect all of
game
those
for you.
opposition coming
I
at
literally
you
just
is
do- look at
very,
this.
very
It's like
important.
literally
Strike doing
a
a
receipt.
master class at that to take that first course.
Also, Bear, I love the strategy in
Whatever.
second place. You have to make sure that you aren't being too aggressive. You got to protect your second place because those are 12 crucial
Yeah,
points.
don't be aggressive when you're second
but
because
ultimately, like that's
if you're
probably
second,
the
you
reason
need to
why
protect
they're second
yourself.
place through the
Like,
red shell. Even
if
though
you don't protect
ultimately
yourself,
they probably
then
should
how are
have
you
gone
gonna go to
forward
first?
if because it would have hit
And
first
if you
place
be
with the item, but
aggressive, you don't
sometimes
protect
you just got to
yourself,
keep your point
actually.
system when it comes to the Grand Prix overall because you're
It's very hard to do that.
3
to,
points
like,
can make or
protect
break
yourself
the whole standings for itself.
when you're second and
Let's
you're
go ahead
very
and check out the
aggressive.
standings after our first race. Strike with 15
But so
points,
far after our
GNB
first race,
75
overall
with 12,
standings,
and there's your boy,
Strike is in
GNB
first,
Bowser
GNB
getting 10
is
points in
12,
third place, but
Bowser
as we
10,
mentioned, anything can happen.
followed
and as we
by
get set for our very next course
EN
here.
9 points.
SNES
It's
Mario
Adrian
Circuit
and
3.
Mangalore.
This is where I got my Mario Kart license 30 plus years ago here, Bear. Getting a chance to now do this in Mario Kart 8.
Race
What's
number
the
2
strategy?
is
So many
on
different
the
This
way.
specific course is the ideal bagging course, which is basically we're going to see half of the racers are going to hold back,
Ideal
try to get the most
bagging
powerful items they
course.
can because you have a great comeback factor here. And if you were in the back, the thing is in each Grand Prix, if you finish last, so the bottom 6, it's actually an advantage for them, so they can kind of hang back, farm their items, try to make or break the last lap and a half. And the biggest thing for them is they're going to go for boxes and coins so they can go faster.
And this is a really good point you bring up because EE coin management plays a huge
Yes.
role. As you know, you get 10 coins, you're going to be moving as fast as you possibly can, but you want to make sure you're still
Okay, what
collecting
time
coins
is
to
it?
prevent the opposition from getting
All right,
in.
now
Oh,
we're getting
100%.
ready.
I mean, at the end of the day,
for
you understand, yes, you want to
the
keep
next
yours
race.
full, right? Just to get that extra additional speed for sure. But being able to cut off another additional resource.
This
for an
is gonna be
opponent is huge,
insane.
especially, you know, when you see this field, how evenly matched a lot of these guys are. Sure, you'll have some guys who create some separation just naturally, maybe a little bit more skilled. But honestly, we said it all the time. Items play such a huge part. You've got to know every little aspect.
And Bear, what I love is mushrooms are so powerful on this course. There are
Yeah.
so many different areas where you can save some time by just cutting some corners.
Oh, absolutely! It's gonna be wild. If you have a golden mushroom, this
So
course
our
is
last
if
winner.
you're- Sorry to be
So
ironic. You're
this
golden.
was our winner of the last course.
Nothing wrong with being ironic here. All right, here we go. SNES
Now we
Mario
are up
Circuit
and
3.
ready
Strike was our
for
winner
the
last race. Let's see if
second
he can
course.
compete. Obviously, this will be a fast and frantic race, and already
So
you see a little bit of a strategy to go backwards here, Bear.
We already see about 4 people that are going backwards. They're holding back 6 right now.
4 people
It's gonna
are
be
already
insane.
going backwards.
Yeah,
EN is in
you
first.
want to keep an eye on
Followed by
who
Bowser,
will grab
LA
lightning and
Cruiser.
who's
LA
gonna
Cruiser's in
dodge
second
that
now.
This is clearly not a Black Friday sale. Nobody in a hurry to get out there, and already we're taking a look at Strike in 11th and Yummy Bagel in 12th, hanging out there with those 3 mushrooms. But of course, there's a lot of ground you can cover with those
Yeah,
mushrooms.
Strike always
GMB
has
75, but now
bad
he cuts
starts.
into Adrian with the star and
But
a
then,
couple of mushrooms here. EE
He
gonna eat
always
up the
catches
ground.
up and
Honestly,
gets.
for like the casual observer, you're
He
probably
always
so
catches up and
confused
gets
at what
top
just took place,
leaderboard.
but really,
It's
it just
insane
I mean,
strike.
seriously, it just makes so much more sense though when you realize the kind of items they're trying to gain access to and how this track itself.
Yummy
does
Bagels in
end.
12th,
Right
EN
now, so
first.
making some bold decisions, but we're seeing N right now in an elite position. Got that first.
And we got a
place.
cannon
How
box
safe
from
is this lead
EN.
here, Bear, for Ed?
Not safe. Not safe. You're in first place the last lap of this course. You
Yeah,
really
not
have to make
safe
distance.
at all.
So it is. Here we go. Whoever used lightning,
Yep.
4 people dodged that lightning. So it is going to be
4
an intense
people
final
dodged
lap here.
it?
It's going to be pure chaos, given to whoever it has.
How do you
If
dodge
look at the
lightning?
mini-map, N still in first, however, N finally growing up like a big boy and getting some more speed. Red Shell coming.
EN.
trying to
Oh,
find
he
some
dodges the red shell.
Point
EN still in
hand,
first.
looking
He's
for
been
a
in first this
defensive
entire
eye, gonna
round.
double up that double box, not in time though.
Oh, GNB! Ian tried to go for the double box, but he didn't get it in time. Now GNB is in first.
Make or break. This could be it.
Spidey Cell coming.
And then a spiny shell coming. And then GNB is your winner.
To eat that is GNB 75 stealing the victory here. E.
G1989 was in first. Then GNB just stole the victory after the blue shell.
Perfectly down the stretch, right? No lead is ever safe until you cross that finish
Wow,
line.
look at
You
him,
know
bro.
what? It pains me to see
He's
Roy
so
getting
happy
hit.
and
That
he was
is my
so
boy.
scared.
And it is difficult when you get hit right at the line, especially after the dash panel, because you really have nothing else
Look
to,
at that,
to,
bro.
to regain
It's
your speed there. That
unbelievable.
was really rough, but fantastic racing by GNB.
1980 got hit. G1989 just got hit by the spiny shell at the very
Honestly,
end of the course. And then
What I love is the collective
GNB
groan from the crowd
took
because we've
the
all been
second
there
race
before.
W,
We're right there
and
at
now
the finish
time
line,
first
and a
of
spiny
strike.
shell comes in just to ruin your Monday.
I've
Let's
lost
go ahead and
friendships
check out
over
the
that,
standings.
Jordan.
Let's go ahead and check out the standings here. GNB 75 moves to the top, tied up with Strike here, 27 points. Sizable lead here, Bear, 27 to 16.
Indeed.
Just 2 races in.
Yeah, that is a math. That's an 11-point difference. But it's still anybody's game. Anybody can still win this GP. Even LA Cruiser with 6 points. If LA Cruiser makes the top 3 finishes and the rest of the courses, he can still make it down there.
Getting set for our next course here, we have Coconut Mall. Obviously, if you've played Mario Kart Wii and have used that Wii Mote and popped that wheelie on the motorcycle, you're very familiar with this course here. And Bear, real quickly, Coconut Mall, you love the shortcut that's early in this course.
Love the shortcut early.
I
is
heard
pretty
the next
critical, but
course
in
is
reality, the
Coconut
best thing about Coconut Mall is if you have a bullet bill,
This is
and
a
you use
very
it right
good
at the
course.
Coconut shops, you
Pretty
can just go
hard.
through the whole mall,
It's hard
and you're
for
on
these
just
guys.
speed running like you're a fastest mall
These
walk
guys
around.
probably are gonna hang on
It
like
is a
it's
fantastic
nothing.
course. Also, the one fun fact on here is that they updated the Coconut Mall, so the cars move now and they spin at you and they do little donuts.
Okay.
Oh,
sure.
yeah, they do
Reminds me of
spin.
EE behind
They
the wheel.
updated it in wave 2.
All right, GNB 75 and
This is
Striker
wave
lead
1, I
inside at
think.
27 points apiece. They will take the pole positions here.
Now they're
This
starting
time,
to
start
go.
out the gate. You see those ramps.
So
obviously,
I already
you can go a
see
little bit faster. And
that
there's
Strike
the
is in
shortcut to
first
the right if you
already.
wanna cut
Strike
through
is
the mall.
unbelievable.
Obviously, a mushroom helps out
He's
with
probably
that.
the best
Strike right now,
racer.
EE hanging on to that first place
He's
lead.
probably the best
You know, he's
racer
obviously,
out of them all.
Again, as I said, a lot of
So
people
far,
have eyes on him.
I think
He's
Strike's in
definitely
first,
demonstrated
LA
why
Cruiser's in
he is such a
second.
phenomenal racer in these first
Now
few,
third.
courses that we have seen.
G1989 struggling. EN, it's Adrian's in first. Then Cozy Fox second. Cozy Fox third.
Absolutely. And one
This
of
is
the
so
most key
intense.
things is
I
any
cannot
mall
even
don't go broke.
comprehend
So you want
it.
to make sure you collect coins because
Oh my God, Cozy Fox just keeps jumping.
And pulling the
Fourth
mushroom
to
at first place with Adrian,
every-
pretty critical to see a
fourth,
nice way to make a
everything.
comeback here.
So far,
But it's
Adrian's
difficult given you
first.
have Pidgey with
Not
triple
anymore.
bananas. Putting that pressure into
Adrian's
beautiful-
fourth. Adrian
beautiful driving
sixth.
with that triple.
Yeah, Adrian eating some potassium there.
LA
Slipping
Cruiser
up. LA Cruiser moving
just
to
passed.
first. Yes. Go ahead and do that for 10.
Just past Manklar. Now Manklar just came back and passed LA Cruiser. Manklar's now in first now.
This is super smart to hold on to that because you have two ways to dodge the
Yeah,
tiny
it's super
shells. But
smart.
more importantly, you have ways to kind of make a comeback if you get hit.
Riding my Pidgey. Fireballs in hand.
Fireballing.
Unleashing some
Grandma
fury.
Pidgey is second.
Mushroom
Manklar's
King
first.
is
Because let's see if Mankler is able to dodge this correctly. No pressure on them at all. Let's see.
Let's find out.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh! No!
No!
Oh my god, Manklar! No way! Manklar dodged the spiny freaking shell.
At all. He is playing out of his mind, but GMB
Launching the red shell. Has a banana peel behind.
Oh my god, Manklar!
This is
Trying to close it
Manklar's
out.
insane! Manklar's trying to close it out. He gets hit by the lightning! His surge is going, and Manklar finishes first!
Size and all, Mankalore getting the checkered
He
flag.
makes it through, and the two Warriors were able to dodge the lightning, Yummy Bagel Nature, and make it to the third and fourth spots, which is pretty critical for them.
How about Strike falling all the way to 10th in that race?
Wow,
And is
that
now
was
back up to top of
insane,
the standings
Manklar.
here. So as you mentioned, anything
Hunt-
can
did he
happen
hunt the horn
in these
thing?
given races here at EE.
I almost feel like I commentator cursed it to an extent, right? I was like, the door is
dare
still
you.
wide.
Wow, that
open.
race
We're
was
still very
intense.
early
Manklar came in first.
These courses, and just like that, you see somebody who was
These
at
courses are
the
insane.
top of that leaderboard.
These
He's
are
had a
like
very
definitely
bad
the
race,
top
and, that
insane
can really play a
courses.
hand in how this is all going to fold out. That young man right there, Mankalore, he put on a heck of a performance in that.
And the key thing is all the other
Yeah,
racers
Manklar.
understand who's the point leader, and if you're a
Probably,
smart racer,
he's
you
probably the
understand I am
youngest
not going
of
to hit
them all.
last place. I'm going to hit with the
And
point
just
leader. So,
put up
so
a
if I was competing, I
perfect
would definitely hit whoever's in
performance.
first place because that's the only way you can do it. You have to hit him out. It's part of the game. It's part
I
of the
think
Grand
that
Prix.
actually
You know,
think
you
that
gotta
was
do
perfect.
And you would never turn
That's why I
around to the
said
finish
keep
line and
perfect.
throw up a bomb, right? Right before you get to the finish line.
No, I would not do
Let's
that.
go ahead and check out the point leaders here after we got done with 3 races. And as we said, it is starting to heat up because it is getting bunched up. GNB 75, a 9-point lead, but Strike all of a
GNB
sudden has
over
Mankalore
Strike by
in the
9
rear
points,
view
then
mirror.
followed by
There's a whole lot more
Manklar,
that
Riding
can
My
happen
Pidgey,
still
and
here
Yummy
at EE
Bagel,
with
and
5 more
Adam
races,
Jazz
and
tied
it just
for
goes
first.
to show you, you cannot take a race off.
Oh, 100%. Not at all. I mean, I love the fact that you're already seeing like such big shifts. I feel like at the start of things, I mean, we've got 3 down.
Yeah,
we've got
you
5 more to
cannot
go.
take
Some
a
of those guys
race
who are kind
off.
of hovering in the middle of the pack. Absolutely
That make
understanding
any
they still have
sense?
an opportunity to rise up a
Pretty
little
sure it
bit. I mean,
does.
Barry articulated it well. When you have those guys who are in those top like 3 positions, they're going to draw a little bit more attention, and that makes it a little bit more dangerous and difficult to win in a course selection like this.
It also makes it super dangerous because the top 3 are all Waluigi's. So you're going to have someone, if they have lightning, they're likely going to go for the Waluigi's on the minimap to make their day
Yeah.
miserable. So you have to be careful because sometimes you just might be caught in the crossfire.
So we saw a rather simple course a couple races ago, SNES Mario Circuit 3. Now we're getting ready for a course that has a lot going on. Ninja Hideaway here, Bear.
This is
Ninja
by far
Hideaway.
it was Big League's my favorite course in this
Ninja
game.
Hideaway is a
overseeded that.
very
Ninja
big
Hideaway
one, too.
is a phenomenal course. Very technical.
Very
You need to learn it
technical,
to
very
understand it and
phenomenal,
enjoy it. It debuted
very
in 2021 in Mario Kart Tour. It is
big.
identical to Mario Kart Tour, but has great graphics. There is a critical shortcut in the
That's
piranha
T-Sen.
plant boards on the bottom path. You can do it with a mushroom, a shell, or you can actually do it without a mushroom. You just need to do it pretty strategically. You might be able to see some people do that. Also, big thing on here in the glider
All
part.
right.
Be careful. Thunderstorms are coming.
Let's
You're gonna get a
see
lightning bolt.
the
Pretty
next
likely if you're in the glider
race.
section.
Yeah, it's a
What
huge
happened?
glider section, so we will see if GNB 75 can hang on for the lead. There they
Ninja
are, the
Hideaway.
top left and
This is
third right now,
definitely
but keep an eye on
a
who
big
gets
race.
a
This
shell
is
or a
one of
mushroom.
my
You mentioned a very
faves,
sizable
but-
shortcut. If you stay to the bottom, a lot of the racers here decide to go to the top here, Bear.
Top path is the best path. You get coins in your double item box the first lap. The first lap specifically, best path to take.
Let me
Riding
see
by
who's
Pidgey,
up.
taking the shortcut already in the glider
He ends
section
up.
here. Mushroom
He ends
and
up
a red
in
shell.
first.
You'll love to have that item combination.
Oh, my
EE.
Cozy
Absolutely.
Fog.
I mean, at any given point, take out somebody
He
in
ends
front
in
of you and
first.
then make up some ground as well, or just put some distance between you should you need to escape a tricky situation. See,
The
Ed
music
there
is still
taking a big
playing.
hit, and that's going to allow Cozy Fog to slip into first place.
stream
So
started
basically,
50
momentarily, but you
minutes
see
ago.
Adrian high on his tail, as again, you just see the ever-changing ebb and flow of how the gameplay can go.
Nice
Adrian,
draft, nice
Cozy
draft.
Fog,
I'm
Adrian.
on
Yeah,
the
good
VOD
nice
of
draft
it
right there. The
because
two of them are switching spots
now
here
that I
first,
can
and it's
stream, I'm
really a
doing
two
VODs.
heavyweight race at
Just-
this point, but a lot can happen. And
Which
as
is,
you get to
isn't,
laps
it's
2
not
three here, Bear.
streaming,
What do you have
but
to really keep in mind if you're a front runner?
Right now,
it's like
the
long
Spidey Cell coming through, hitting
videos.
Pidgey sadly.
Oh, here it comes.
It's like
Spidey
over an hour
Cell
video. It's
locked
cozy.
in and
Run my Pidgey! Run my Pidgey fell! Run my Pidgey's in fifth! Oh my god, Mangalore! Mangalore's in second!
Mangalore in second. Cozy Fog in first. Cozy Fog doesn't have a defensive
I'm actually
item
kind of
here,
rooting
though.
for
Has to
Mangalore to
be
win.
very careful, EE.
Yeah, Cozy Fog, understanding, but look at that 10 full coins. Oh, Adrian
Oh,
makes a
Adrian
very
fell
rare
off.
miscue on that. Gonna lose some ground as we see Mangalore hot on Cozy Fog's tail.
Yeah,
And this is really
Mangalore
big for him. If he
hot
can amass
on.
2 first place finishes
that
in a
nice.
row, that's gonna be huge for him in the standings.
Yummy Bagel trying to take a bite out of first place. Cozy Fog making their way through, switching to the mushroom.
Nice.
Able to get through to the shortcut. And now
Mangalore's
it's
in second.
Mangalore.
Mangalore's in third.
Chaining boxes into a double red shells is pretty
Cozy
great
Fog
for
set.
the last run
Cozy
here.
Fog.
Depends what Cozy
Cozy
has,
Fog.
but you never know. Oh, he has nothing.
Cozy Fog is
Oh, this
first.
is rough. He will likely get hit.
And
Mangalore.
Ape with just a tie, doesn't have a single item, and it's going to be
Oh,
Mangalore.
oh,
Mangalore gets knocked.
And strike
in
strike.
first
Oh,
place.
Mangalore just got
Right
knocked.
there. Oh my goodness. What a
Oh
wonderful
my
finish from Strike.
gosh.
So smart understanding that Mangalore
Oh
was
my
gonna
god,
throw
that was
red.
definitely the
Red
most
is- red
intense
is Mangalore
one.
right
And
after
Strike ended up in
defenseless.
first, man.
Solid W from Strike with Yummy Bagel making his second as well, and Jet with third.
Strike being so cerebral right there. I mean, how often did we even see
Yeah,
his
Strike,
name
it's
on that race?
unbelievable what
Not one
Strike
time until
literally
those
does.
closing seconds.
He
where
does
just creeps
so
up and
much
just
when he's racing.
took control, took the lead,
Literally
and
so much.
reasserts himself at the top of that leaderboard.
And we talked about luck, Bear. If you get stuck in a situation where you do not have a defensive item and you've got some heat coming behind you, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Honestly, the best thing to do is slow down. If you see some of the players are not using their back cameras as much as they should be. You need
Yeah.
to see what's behind you. If someone
Use
has
your
a red
back
shell
camera,
and you're
you
in
can
first
see what's
and you got
behind you.
nothing, slow down. There's no reason for you to get hit later on unless you're going to get the double item box, unless you can be able to execute a wall dodge, which is pretty difficult to do but some of these players can do it.
Yeah, we saw Mangalore hustling for that double item box, could not get it in time, and then got passed by a handful of racers. Let's go
Come
ahead
on,
and check out the
Mangalore,
standings
you could've
here.
done any
We are
better.
now 4 races deep in this championship cup here, and Strike right up top. And how about that? Just a 1-point lead, EE. over
Oh,
GNB 75.
Strike is in
He said, "I'm
first.
back."
1
Forgot
point
about me.
ahead of
One down race,
GNB.
make you forget exactly who I am. Yes, Strike taking the #1 rank as it stands right now. We're halfway through these courses, but it is really kind of heating up. You see GNB only 1 point separating them, and then Mangalore, we've already seen him make a rise before. No reason to think a couple of solid top 2-3 placings can't help elevate him some more. This first place, while in the hands of
All right,
Strike,
what race up?
Halfway
I
through
actually
this
broke
Mario
the
Kart
pen.
8 Deluxe Championship Cup 2022. Now we're getting set for Shroom Ridge, Bear. And
Oh,
this is a
Shroom
track
Ridge,
that
let's
you
freaking
really
go.
love. A lot of turns. Obviously, you've got some Labor Day traffic here. It's going to crowd things up. What do you keep in mind here?
Biggest thing is that in
It's
GS Shroom
like-
Ridge, you do
I
not
literally
have
look at
double
this,
item
I
boxes.
broke a
You need
pen
to get every item
while
box you can
listening to
possibly
the
get.
video.
It is super
Look,
vital.
this
There are
literally
two
was-
critical shortcuts.
this
One
is
was the
literally
glider section they added,
a
and one at the
naked
very
pen. It
end
was
with
supposed
the
to go like
pipe wind.
right
You
here,
need
but
to
it
have
won't
mushrooms
go.
for both.
Anyways,
But
now the
overall,
next
if you
race.
front running this course, this is
Who
a
is up in
beautiful front
first?
running course.
Strike, man.
Strike a 1-point lead over GNB 75, and already it's Bagel out in first, but battling position with Strike. Strike able to pick up somebody EE with that red shell.
Yeah, not a surprise. I mean, you kind of have a little bit of a cluster, right? Just put some separation between you guys, and then just
All right,
acceleration
he ends in
end right
first.
there.
Ends in
He's
first.
the
He ends
place
in
currently
first.
right now, trying to absolutely reestablish himself. How about that?
So,
So
critical
he
thing
ends
here,
in
Ed
first, I
actually
think followed
made
by
the smart
Strike.
decision of using the inside drifting.
And I don't know the
because
rest.
This course is phenomenal if we're inside drifting. So they actually changed it into anticipation of this course for the advantage.
And you can obviously take a much better line in that situation. And you mentioned no double item boxes, so you're going to have to be very
And
careful
here
here.
comes the spiny shell. Let's see what happens with first place. I'm
Spiny
pretty
shell.
sure they're probably going to try to hit the car.
What'll happen
Well,
first?
they probably did, or they had a super horn.
And was able to avoid it. However, you see the
Ooh.
blooper come on screen. It's going to
Ian
block
got
some
the
division,
blooper, but I think he
EE
avoided the
knows
spiny
these
shell.
Courses like the back of their hand, and it's Bagel in second. Oh!
Oh!
Green shell on their
Yeah.
9.
Jordan's first commentator curse of the evening. You love to see it right there. They're focused on Strike in that second place. He is chasing down, but you see some good separation between the two. Pidgey making a play right now. Going to
Run my
Strike
Pidgey.
battling for that second and third spot.
Given how
Bowser's in
wide the
fourth,
track is and the Wario
Bowser
in the back
16
and the
fourth,
blooper coming out,
and
very
Ian's in
likely
first.
Towers coming
Still in
out.
first.
Lightning strike.
And in first, you heard the forecast coming, and yes, there is the lightning bolt.
Oh.
GMB 75, however, in that bullet bill, making huge.
No,
progress here, Bear.
Yeah, it is critical. You need to understand that once the blooper comes out,
GNB dodged the lightning bolt.
and you need to be prepared for it. And GNB did a great job understanding it, but a spiny shell is on its way. The only thing they can do here is hit one of the cars, but they don't. They opt to get to use the coin. It is a rough spot.
And Strike trying to build upon their lead. Leaves the
Strike,
ball behind,
no
and Strike
way.
with 15 more points.
Strike did a critical thing. Use the mushroom at the pipe cut. Bomb back.
Wow,
which smart,
Strike
given
is
that
so
they had to protect just
smart.
in case anything happened. GMB fell into third from that spiny shell. Strike for that first. It is.
He
shaking
used
up
the mushroom
standings
at
here.
the-
This is a fantastic
just
top four,
the
top five.
perfect
Honestly,
timing
after the fifth grade,
to
what a
make
phenomenal
Strike
And really,
win.
EE, the decision making, the final
Perfectly
10 to 15 seconds of every single race has really
insane.
determined the outcome here, and it really feels like Strike
That was
is doing
literally
just enough to
insane.
hang
That
near the
was-
front and then
That
capitalizing on any
was so
mistakes.
I
dope.
mean, it's the collective gas from the crowd that you're hearing that really lets you know just how close these races really are. You have somebody who seemingly, has it well in hand, but as you said, the
Strike
last couple of
won
seconds really just
again.
determines how it goes down, and Strike has found himself to be
Could
in a
Strike win the
position
whole
to just
class?
succeed
He won
time and time again. Great item management.
2 in a row,
knows the
yeah.
courses, great
Mankler
track
won the
selection. I
Coconut
mean,
Mall, so then he won.
what
Then
can you say
Strike
about this
won
guy? Like, obviously, like you
the-
said, there's still plenty of room to work with, but he has got
the,
to be the one everyone's got their eye on.
has
And even with
to.
that said, they can still not stop him.
Now, Bear, what's interesting is we had a conversation about these loadouts and the cart selection, the wheels. Tell us the thought process with these top-level players. I know there's a lot of folks watching us that are trying to dip their toe into the competitive Mario Kart 8 Deluxe scene and want to know, where do I even begin as far as my ride?
So the most important thing is your tires. You want to have something with high acceleration, high mini turbo. You will notice a lot of them are using rollers, which is azure rollers, the red rollers, the blue rollers. They're super important there. And then beyond that, you want to make sure you pick a cart that handles well for what you would like. Your character is important, but in reality, you'll see a lot of these people using heavy cruiserweights, which is like the Roy, Waluigi, Donkey Kong. They're all the same weight class. That's why we're mostly seeing that. But in general, heavier characters do a great job, but you can still win with a light character. One of my favorite characters is Shy Guy, and I really enjoy playing as Shy Guy. You can still
Yeah,
do well,
it's
and there are some
insane.
people that do really well with Shy Guy.
Heavy characters can do well. There's hope for us, EE.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and
Heavy
check out the
characters
standings here.
do
Strike
very
with a
well.
6-point lead
Now,
over
Strike
GMB
has a 6-point
75,
lead
building
over
on that
GMB
advantage.
75,
Yummy Bagel,
followed by
13,
Yummy
5
Bagel,
in third place.
Mankler,
So it looks like it's going to
Alan
shape
Jet.
up into a 2-racer
All the rest
competition.
kind of just
Up
hanging out.
next, Paris Promenade
Chilling,
there.
bringing
Let's
up
go
the
ahead and have
rear.
a croissant and take a tour through the city
Beautiful.
streets. But what stands out to you about this course?
Beautiful course. One of my favorite courses they added in the game. This is
Which
debuted
course
in
is it?
2019 in Mario Kart Tour. It combines 3 variations of one for this itself. At one point, it goes backwards. So on the final lap, if you're slow enough and you're fast enough, you'll meet someone. Maybe even a bullet bill into your face, which happens to me many times. But so it's gonna be really interesting. There is a critical shortcuts with the Piranha Plant boards at the beginning and at the end. But in reality, we're gonna see a lot of usually front running here, but
I don't know
we'll
what-
probably see.
Oh,
some
Paris
lightning
Promenade,
at the
yeah,
end of
just
the
a good
glider,
course.
because it is a critical time to use it.
Keep
This is
an eye
race
out for
number
the use
6
of the
of
bullet
8.
bill. Now, obviously,
And our
you
race
figure all
stars
of these races
are
there's
off.
the lead that Strike is
So
building.
already,
There's a huge
bro,
bullseye on their
Strike
back.
has
100%.
such a
Strike knows that even
steady
in first place is
finish.
immediately soaring out.
I mean, such
But
a steady
for
finish.
everybody else, you have to understand, this is crunch
It's
time. You only
insane.
have so many more races to have a chance to kind of
I keep
knock off a
dropping
little bit
this,
off of this
like,
pedestal and
literally.
accumulate some points yourself. So really no room for error right now.
Bro,
I'm looking to see some of
is
these
this
guys
thing
who are kind of
hard to
at the lower end of the standings really
I'm
have
just throwing it
in
around.
this race. It's imperative that they get some points on the board.
And Strike is just running away, using their coin. Gonna start probably holding onto that green shell for protection. Really smart for them to just be able to understand that they need to get this lead as far as possible as they can right now.
We saw Strike just run into the wall there, lost a little bit of ground. Here's a
Oh,
look at
Strike
Adam
ran
in
into
third
the wall,
place,
so
and
he
the race
lost-
show forward.
he lost a
GMB
little bit of
75 in
ground.
fifth. Trying to force the issue a
All
little
right.
bit. Oh, gets smacked by the fireball, and that'll bring them back to the pack, EE.
Yeah, those straight item hits, man, sometimes they can really throw a wrench in your plan.
Right,
You
so
somebody
Adrian
higher up on the
Q,
leaderboard,
22
you kind of have a slower
is
start, and that is the,
in
position you
third,
can really find
Ian
yourself in
second,
right now, in that second
and
position,
first
really trying
is
to
better
punch
not be
down
Strike.
Gonna
Here
get
comes the
blooper.
blooper, and everybody's going for the double
It's
item boxes.
Strike.
And there is so many people back there with superstars,
There's
and a
so
Spiny
many
still on the way.
people.
It's very likely
It's
this is going to just go really
honestly
well for
so
Strike.
crazy.
Hopefully they can make a comeback after here.
Final lap, Strike.
Oh, the
gets
final
smacked by
lap.
the Spiny
Strike
Shell,
just
gets
got
back.
taken out.
Strike's
Ian
trying to
now
hang
up
on to
in
one of the top
first.
3 positions, and in first, green shell is going to go ahead and negate the red shell.
Oh, it's
Riding
called
my
N?
Pidgey, threatening in third.
That's
Strike all the
Ian.
way back down to 7th with just a coin, EE.
Just a coin and a dream at this
Just
point,
a
because
single
he's going to be able to take first in
coin.
this one, so that is certainly going to open the door for somebody else to accumulate some much-needed points. How about N gets the double item box firmly in first place? Let's see if he can maintain it there.
And a mushroom in second is
Oh,
very likely.
who's in
Adrian will
first?
go for
Ian's
but
in
I don't think
first.
he'll make a break, not enough
It's
distance
Adrian
to
in
make it
second.
through. He's probably going to get first. It was like N getting first place. Nice Adrian was second, and I believe Adam got third place there.
Hold on,
Strike
guys.
is
I'm
also
in
making their
AFK.
way forward. Used the star right at the end, so we'll see how it finally shakes out. But looking at the results, Strike getting 5th place, and so that allows G and B to move a little bit closer, but still a 7-point lead for Strike. And with only 2 races left, it's starting to look pretty impressive. If you are Strike, you've got to make sure you now protect that lead, because everyone's going to try and bring you down. And really, EE, it's just that Spiny Shell that comes at the wrong time can totally negate a perfect race through the first 2
Yeah, and
laps.
it's tough too, because if you don't have the right item to combat it, or you're not in the right situation on the course as well, it's really just kind of to take the hit, lose the momentum, and just hope you've already amassed enough of a lead where it won't put you too far behind. In the case of Strike, 5th place finish, certainly not something I'm sure he's accustomed to based off the standards he set, but still able to maintain the lead overall, so that's a good thing for him.
Bear, in your experience, a 7-point lead with 2 races left, how safe is that?
Not safe. You're not safe. You need
No hesitation.
You need
Sorry,
to be
my,
top 2.
My
top
aunt
three
just came over,
in
guys.
next 2
So I'm
races.
sorry for
And
that.
our next
Who
course
won?
is
Oh,
very
EN won.
chaotic, so it's going to make a break for a lot of these racers. There could be a good comeback. I think the top
At least
4 can still win this whole GP.
Let's take a look at the standings here in just a second as we get set for the final
At least
2 races.
you guys-
Here they are. Strike 7-point lead over G&B 75. Yummy Bagel sitting there in 3rd place.
Okay, I fixed the
18
pen.
points behind the leader.
Yep,
But
it's
then
good.
Adam and Mankamore. That is bunched up 4, 5, 6. Don't even dismiss Adrian at 7th place with 41 points. So, Mushroom Gorge.
Oh,
It's
what?
gonna be
Freaking
very
goal.
chaotic,
Hell,
as
yeah,
you
Mushroom
said.
Gorge.
We
Mushroom Gorge is
debuted in
like my
2008.
favorite.
Wonderful Mario Kart.
One of my faves. It
There's
probably
a
actually
huge
is my
shortcut called the
fave.
gap shortcut. You can
This is
use
the last
mushroom,
course?
Mushroom. It is technical, but anybody can really do it with some practice. But the biggest thing here is that the mushrooms themselves.
Honestly,
are-
I
the
feel like
mushroom area,
Strike
the
is gonna
lightning
fall
doesn't
apart
come
on
in
this
the mushroom
one.
Era. You are out of luck. You are going to be falling. You're going to be scalding. You're going to be very, very frustrated. And every mushroom has a different specific kind of property. So the red ones, you trick on it, you bounce in the sky. The green ones, you trick on it, you don't bounce in the sky. But the blue one is only one. It's a glider. So
We're going to take a little
It's like a
detour
lighter.
to New York Minute, actually, for the next course here. We've talked a little bit about these final 2 courses, and it looks like we're going to make a little change to New York Minute. And so, right back at you, Bear. New York Minute, one of those Mario Kart
Oh,
course
New York
tracks.
Minute.
And we've talked before, there's a lot that can happen here, especially when you get to that final lap.
Okay, yeah. So for New York Minute, it combines basically the 4 variants into in 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to go through all of New York City, see all the famous landmarks, and then in general, you're gonna one thing with New York Minute, it's going to be super slick and watery, similar to Neo Bowser City if you race in this game. So it has this kind of slickness to it. Your drifting is going to be a little bit different. At one point in the course, it does go into technically reverse. But it's very rare you're going to encounter anybody that's going to kind of facing you in that section.
And this is another mid-pack course here, EE, where you can go ahead and hang out at the front or hang out in the middle. It's not one that's going to benefit you if you're just trying to collect the bullet bills and the lightning bolts at the end.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and I think for a lot, just based on what Bear said too, like how this lead is just not safe. that's kind of a benefit too, you know, to our top 4, top 5 right there. Still itching to maybe knock Strike off of his position and, you know, usurp him, take that first place. Because with just 2 races to go, yes, you know, you get those kind of more chaotic courses. I think that's really going to benefit you when you're trying to make a play like that.
One thing I want to say, Bear, a shout out to the wonderful crowd we have here as well, too.
Indeed.
We have got just an excellent group of fans here. It's great to be back in person as well, too. You feel the energy here. And with that, take me through the mind of our racers here, because this is different than playing online or playing in a LAN. You've got a crowd, maybe a little bit more pressure.
It's just a lot of pressure. I don't envy them for being up there. It's especially because you have the crowd behind you. You really want to race your best, but also you want to make sure that you can perform well here.
Well, for you, I mean, I know you do competitive racing yourself. Do you find much of a difference in just how you approach everything online versus offline? Because, like, obviously, I'm sure you've competed offline, but, like, for a crowd like this, that's pretty insane.
Offline and online completely different. Online is just you, your monitor, and your own battle. But when you're in front of people, when you're next to your competitor, it's a different feeling. Because one, if you hit me, I can look at you later and be like, man, I was you know, I really didn't like that.
We did not run the video.
Yeah.
But more reality,
1 hour,
you actually
so
find
now
out
we're at the
the
vlog
That's one
level.
nice thing about in-person Mario Kart tournaments is you really find out that there's other people
I was
in their real
actually
life, they're not just their
trying
niece.
to add this.
They actually,
I was
well,
actually
look like their
trying
niece.
to
Actually, a lot of these
adding it
people,
to
8, 9 of them, I
CapCut,
knew them
but
for past couple of
CapCut
years.
took
They
up
all look like
so
their
much
niece.
space
It's
in my
hilarious.
iPad,
But
literally
I was
so
able
much space.
to really kind of connect with them, get that experience, and as a player in this situation, being in front of the crowd, you know, you want to play for yourself. You know, it is tough if you're in the bottom rankings right now, but you can still make a difference. You can still fight for those top spots, maybe get podium. That's the kind of goal when you're at the last leg of the few races. You want to do your best, have a good performance, do what you can, and then if you're in the top 3 GP in the end of these kind of Grand Prix, you are fighting for your life. You need to make sure that you don't get hit. You're going to play super defensive. We're going to see Strike play the most defensive as possible, knowing that they are a target on their back.
And you have casted so many events where someone is on the verge of claiming a championship, and it's a different mentality to close things out. Everybody can start hot, but to really seal the deal and have that clutch moment, that clutch play down the stretch, it takes a different breed.
It really does. I mean, you know, it separates the good players from the great players, right? And we obviously understand every single person that we've seen on the stage has.
All right, now every single person is back up, and we are ready.
On a stage like this, in front of a crowd, this is why I did allude to the fact that I really did think Bowser would have a nice opportunity, because he's won in situations like this, whereas like a lot of the opposition has not competed here. But, you know, one thing I will say about Strike and several others, ice cold blood in those veins, because they are showing up and they are showing out.
And Bear, keep it real with me. Everybody understands the standings right now. They see Strike at the top. How out of their way will people go to bring Strike down just to keep it competitive the final race?
I think if you're in the top 5, you're probably going to aim for Strike. You're probably going to be relentless. But in reality, some of these players, they might have checked out. They might have a good time. I see a Streetle in the midst, but I think that's because this course specifically, the performance.
All right.
The Streetle
New
vehicle.
York.
Off we go. New York Minute penultimate race here in this Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Championship Cup 2022. It's Strike and everybody else at this point. Early look here. You've got Bowser on the bottom left. All of a sudden, N in second place. And you've got Cozy Fog in 5th. Still kind of bunched at the beginning
Yeah,
here.
in second so far.
And is definitely one of those people I'm looking forward to.
Strike is second. Adam Jet's first. Strike win again. I better hope. Adam Jet in first. Strike is right on his tail. And Strike is now up in first. Yo, they're already done a lap?
Item box, though.
And that is N that is going to have to hit the brakes here momentarily. Another red shell coming. LA Cruiser. Great to call his name in 3rd place right now. Trying to hunt down the leaders. And Mankalore in 4th, using that mushroom to cruise around right on the heels of LA Cruiser. Grabbing up a couple of coins, but it's Strike once again there in the lead.
Oh!
Neck and neck, as holding a mushroom in first,
That's
understanding even
hard.
if they
Adam
get
Jet
Reddit,
just got
even
hit
if
by
the
the
Tiny Shell
wall.
comes, they have a way to make a good comeback.
Strike.
Final lap. Strike really trying to take control of this championship. We'll see what will unfold here. Strike in first. That boo will go ahead and leave him with a green shell. Blooper coming on, which I imagine, Bear, expect a lightning bolt.
It's very likely at the end of this here, but it's very rough because you have such a tight finish. This is just a straight
LA Cruiser's in second. LA Cruiser second.
Wonderful to see that first place there. I believe LA Cruiser got second.
And Strike picking up another win. It might be enough to clinch it. LA Cruiser.
Oh, more.
Rising out of the
What?
ashes here like a phoenix
Strike
and getting
picked up
12 points.
another
How
win.
about Pidgey
We'll
sliding
see
in there
what
at third,
happens.
too?
Yeah, Pidgey doing very well, getting third
Wow,
here.
he's
we'll
doing
see
very
what the
well.
final
I
score
think
looks like,
Strike
but
clinched
it
it.
just really seems like it's Strike and everybody else right now, Bear.
At this point, it was between Strike, the GND, and a few other folks, but Strike is at first place finish, and I saw
I
the
think
GND
Strike's
fans
gonna win.
really shook things up. All they have to do is pray that they have a lucky Mushroom Gorge run.
Fun fact,
It can go hard. It can go rough.
you know that
As
Nintendo
we get
Direct
set for
video
Mushroom
I
Gorge, our
posted?
final course
If you
here in
don't,
just a
I'll
moment,
post
it
it
is
in
Strike
the,
that is claiming the majority of
the
the
link
checkered
in
flag.
the,
We have one more
description.
race left here in
That
this Mario
Direct,
Kart
it
8
showed Mario Kart 8
Championship
Deluxe
Cup,
Wave
and
3.
you really
Literally
like the fact
coming
that
out in the
Strike,
holidays.
you see the standing, Strike building a
I
very
am so
sizable lead
excited
heading
for
into
that.
the
I just moved
final
it a little
race.
bit
In
back,
fact, that
but
should clinch it right there. 18
fine.
points ahead of GNB
I am
75.
super
That'll probably do it.
excited
So at this
for
point,
that.
we get set for this
And
exhibition
the,
race and just a chance
yeah.
to wave to the crowd.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Strike, you could tell he's obviously driven in New York traffic before. Everybody else, not so much. You know, you saw they were having a little bit of trouble. If you've ever been in New York, you know what I'm talking about. But Strike, a veteran in his field and obviously separating himself from the rest of the
Unbelievable.
pack. He
Strike
said that lead double digits,
has
one race to
almost
go.
a
It's going to
20
be incredibly
point lead
unlikely
over
that he
JMB.
lets go of this one. But I'll tell you what, nothing wrong with fighting for second, too, because we have a lot of good competitors still here who can make some waves.
Well, of course, bragging rights, Bear. I mean, you can say that you came here and competed against 12 of the top racers and you held your own and finished possibly top 3.
It is a fight for podium at this point. Mathematically, Strike is in a good spot. The point system wise, great spot there, but I really want to see who finishes second and third. Given this race, Mushroom Gorge, one of my favorite week courses.
Oh, Mushroom
Very
Gorge.
phenomenal.
Strike
We're
wins
probably
this
gonna
one
see some
again.
pure
I
chaos
swear,
here,
dude.
Given that a lot of people will probably get really rough time in the mushroom area.
Keep an eye out for the final turn. There's a huge gap skip.
I don't
You
even
need
know
a
if we can hit
mushroom and a lot of
Splatoon 3.
technique, but that is something that these racers can
Strike
certainly
win
pull off.
both Mario
Final
Kart
race
Deluxe
here as we
and
get set.
Splatoon 3.
Strike your
He
leader,
gets
but
it,
there is
and
still
Strike
second
is
and third
first.
place to race for.
Unfreaking believable.
Screen and six
I
of those
cannot
three bananas.
comprehend
LA
the
Cruiser
logic
at
out of my
first and
mind.
third place, hanging out in second to EE.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm glad to see LA Cruiser, even though it's a
LA
little bit late,
Cruiser's
making
in
a little
third,
bit of a resurgence
G19,
to make sure people are aware.
and
Yes, I am in this
Ian's
as well, but
first
Aaron,
now.
take a look at him. He's
At
got
least
that
this
first
time
place
it's not
on lock.
Strike.
Obviously,
Strike,
very
oh,
close,
Strike's
but
struggling.
But Strike being so far behind, a little bit telling.
Strike is
Everybody
struggling.
have some
He
eyes on
is
him.
all the way
You're
on the
not
next
going to-
lap
And
already.
is in first, has the coin, looking
Wow.
for a defensive item. No real immediate threat behind them. Adam with the star and a couple of mushrooms, making their way forward. Excellent use of the draft there. And Bear, we keep an eye out of Bowser as well too, Bear.
I would keep an eye out anyway back here. Oh, that is an early lightning.
Oh my God.
Because given that where
Yeah,
the pack
early
was,
lightning, that
whoever
was.
used that really wanted to hit someone
Yeah,
specific.
crystals
not really
this
the
time.
full
In Mario
combo
Kart
of the
Wii,
pack
they don't have
itself.
any crystals.
Here's Strike with the piranha plant, giving a
Is
little
this
bit of
the
a
Wii
boost.
mushroom
Here
gorge?
comes a spiny shell, though. Adam.
Spiny
gonna
shell.
take over first place here soon,
Oh,
and
Ian's
gonna
still
keep-
in first.
Oh,
Oh,
spiny shell
he
right
dug
there.
his spiny shell, but now he's in second. Adam Jetson now in first.
Really nicely. And is now in first place here, dragging a red shell. Pretty nice defense here.
I want
But it all
anybody
really
but
depends
Strike
at this
to
point here.
win.
Strike hanging in second. Not giving up, knowing that they're in a really good spot.
Yeah,
They
seriously.
still want to fight.
I want anybody but
Strike wants to
Strike.
put this thing
Anybody
away
but
here.
Strike.
He
So
leaves
far,
no
Adam Jet's in the
doubt
lead.
whatsoever who's
A
the top
blooper
racer.
and a
Oh,
last,
the
this
blooper
could be
now.
rough. Anything could happen. A lightning, another spiny shell. It could
Adrian
be really
second.
tough here. Ooh, and
I'm in
Adrian,
fourth.
oh, here we go.
Oh,
There's the
insane.
lightning.
Oh, there's the
Able to clear
lightning.
the gap,
Adam
though.
Jet
That's
dodged
huge.
it.
Adam
Oh,
trying
no,
to
he
close it
no,
out.
he got it.
Can Adam
Oh,
take it home?
will he pull it out? Will Adam Jet pull it out? No! It's
How
not!
about that?
And Strike finishes in third.
A
And
trio
who came in
of
first?
He's leading the way. Strike finishes in the top 3, but what a remarkable finish, and that is end
Who won?
just blowing by at the last minute, getting the checkered
Yeah.
flag.
I love to see that because N was in the lead at the start of that race and was able to just at
It
those
was
last
N.
seconds again, continuing to prove the old story true. Hey, that first place lead is
Yeah, I
never
think
safe.
he
Those
won.
final seconds always
Yes,
take
he
time
had
to
that
end. The
one.
sweep
Oh
is
my
right there.
God.
How about Strike? He did a good job playing from behind too.
At least Strike finished in the top 3 in the last race. I think that was the last race.
So it's a
And
foregone conclusion that
now-
Strike was going to run away with this. So congratulations to Strike, our champion here for the Mario Kart 8
Strike
Deluxe
is
Championship
our
Cup
champion.
2022.
He won
Huge
5
round of
races.
applause
I
for
couldn't
him.
count
Let's
my
go ahead
he
and
won
check out
5
the final
races.
standings
Let's give
here
him
in just a moment.
a
Because
round of
it's a
applause
fun
for
race for you.
Strike.
It's not just about first
Now
place.
let's
It's
show
coming
the
here
trophy
saying you're racing against
presentation.
both the top racers and you finished in second or third potentially.
Yeah, and that's a big proud moment because podium.
Invitational 2022.
No,
You
that's
do
the
not wanna miss
Splatlands.
that. We'll be back in just a moment.
Well, let's look at the final standings.
Mentioned Strike will be at the top. Your
Strike
leaderboard,
is
a
one.
dominant
He beat a
20 point
GMB
victory.
by
How about
20 points.
GMB
Adam
75
Jet
in
third.
second, and Adam
Tied
and
with
Ken
N,
tying for third
and
place. I think
Yummy Bagel
they might do
fifth,
one
then
extra
Color
course in the
sixth.
back to
It's
figure that out
Adrian
at that
fifth,
point. But awesome to see
50
just
points,
how
7.
competitive things were there.
Bowser
Yeah,
45
I had a
points,
feeling
8.
that we're gonna
LA
have a point
Cruiser
differential
9.
of
Riding My
almost
Pigeon
the
10.
top four going into it. Given that
G1989.
If once one person gets their
11th and last place
they're going to be
Cozy
able to,
Farm.
if one of the Strike placed 93 points. Out
But
of the
now,
maximum, I believe
it is
120.
time to show
Really good,
the
placement
trophy
for-
presentation.
Let's take one more look at our champion, Strike. Strike with 93
Strike,
points.
the champion.
Looked effortless at times. There you
Took
see
so much
being awarded
effort.
that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
So much
Championship
effort
Cup
Strike put in that.
trophy. Go ahead and
Insane,
put
now
that
they're
up.
blowing
That was
smoke.
rare to get right there.
Congratulations, Strike, on your win.
You can go ahead and just hang your jersey up next to it too. Just remember, I mean, this is a moment too for a lot of these guys. Like, even if you didn't necessarily win,
Wow,
you know,
that trophy is
our
insane.
champion here, you're gonna remember that. It's gonna stick with you for a long
Very
time.
gorgeous. If I were Strike, I'd love
Moments
that.
like this, they don't come easy. And Strike, he fought hard for it. He won.
Congratulations to Strike for winning, guys. And guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, sub, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any other future videos. Part 2, Splatoon 3, Enter the Splatlands 2022 is gonna be for Part 2 coming out next 2 weeks, I think.
Understanding each other.
2?
Form the
I don't even know how long it's coming out. 2, 3 weeks. Anyway, so see you on the next vlog. Peace.